Well, what a way to round off match week 5. It is Arsenal versus Manchester City at the Emirates Stadium. Well, huge news for in terms of team selection for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal, with Eze dropping on the bench. More important for Arsenal, William Saliba is back in the starting 11 and Bukayo Saka has found his way on the bench after that lengthy injury that he suffered early on this season. And we're off and running at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal start this game at 4th position, have an opportunity to pile on the pressure at Liverpool, who have been flawless so far in the Premier League. 5 games played, 5 wins for the reigning champions. Well, after Liverpool handled their business against Everton at home in the Merseyside derby, they can put their feet up and enjoy this game here, because there are real ramifications if either team lose here. Arsenal might go 6 points behind Manchester City if they are to lose today, and if City lose, well, that's 3 Premier League losses in 5. Real crisis for Manchester City and Pep Guardiola, who has named an unchanged lineup which started against Manchester United in that 3-0 derby victory, where Erling Haaland was on absolute fire there. Brace, and he's no surprises the Premier League top scorer in match week 5. 5 goals for him, and believe it or not, this is his slowest start to match week 5 since he has joined the Premier League. That just shows you the elite production levels of Erling Haaland. Almost feels like City's season hinges on the fitness of Rodri and Erling Haaland. It's a giveaway there. Good pick out there by O'Reilly. I'll be very curious to see his positions there, as Gyökeres has picked up the ball in the centre circle and now he's running at the City defence. Onto the left hand side is Calafiori. Good pace shown there by Kusanov. Well, Abdulkadir Kusanov in the team because of his pace and his bravery, and that was very much on display there. The back 3 for Manchester City, with Donnarumma in goal, is Kusanov as the right-sided centre-back, Ruben Diaz in the centre, and on the left-hand side they'll have Josko Guardiola with Nico O'Reilly at left-back, but we'll see him picking up different positions on the pitch, especially in the midfield, if he is to give Rodri a bit of support to allow Reinders to push forward with Phil Foden. Here's Noni Madueke, and that's good work there by Nico O'Reilly, who really has impressed me since he's getting a consistent run of games. He is technically proficient, he's brave on the ball, he's got good dribbling and close control. He's got all the attributes to succeed in a Pep Guardiola system. And here's Jeremy Doku, who's really caught form, hasn't he? I mean, if you saw his goal against Napoli midweek, it really was special. The way that he just burst past defenders like they're not even there. Saw that against Manchester United, the first goal that City scored when Phil Foden headed from close range. It all came from Jeremy Doku in a central position, really making things happen. As for Arsenal, well, defensively they have just been magnificent this season, haven't they? Just the 1 goal conceded in 4 Premier League games, and that goal was a Dominic Szoboszlai sizzler from a free kick. As here's Trossard on the left hand side, driving with the ball, real pace shown by the Belgian. Look at Kusanov's pace, it's absolutely frightening. He gave Trossard at least a 5 to 10 yard head start, and he caught up with him with ease. Well, Arsenal do lack a bit of pace with Trossard on the left hand side. We might expect to see Ricardo Calafiori be that outlet on the left hand side, which might allow Trossard to be like an inside forward rather than hugging the touchline, because on the right for Arsenal we will see Noni Madueke as that touchline winger, hugging that touchline and trying to cause all sorts of problems for Josko Guardiola. What a huge lift this is for Arsenal to see William Saliba back in the lineup. I mean, Christian Mosquera has not put a foot wrong, mind you, but pecking order prevails. William Saliba, one of the best defenders in the league, just shows you that even without him, it did not look like Arsenal really missed him. And you can see early on that Arsenal are trying to imply that back 3 on the ball, allowing Calafiori to pick up positions pretty much wherever he feels like. He can either go as the winger or drop into midfield. He's such a hybrid player. Swiss Army knife of a defender that Ricardo Calafiori is. And when they have a back three, you'll see Jurrien Timber as the right-sided centre-back. And on the left, Gabriel Magalhaes. Here's Mikel Merino, who's profiting from Martin Odegaard's injury. He seems to be Arteta's pick over the captain. I think Odegaard is fit enough to be on the bench. I'm not sure, but Saka is. And that is a massive lift for Arsenal. I mean, Madueke has played very well since making that £50 million move from Chelsea. I think some of the praise has been slightly exaggerated with Madueke's performance. Seen a lot of him when he played for Chelsea, and that directness and the way that he just explodes into the box is one of the best in the league, but we always questioned him about his final product. That final ball, whether it's a cross, a shot, or even a pass in the box, if Madueke can polish that up, and it was a huge if when he was at Chelsea, if he can do that, well, Arsenal have a real player on their hands. Early on, Arsenal just keeping hold of the ball here. They have nearly 77% of the ball, and they've given it away. Well, Nico O'Reilly could not capitalize on it. Well, 5 minutes on the clock. It's been all Arsenal in terms of having the ball. Saw City do that against Man United as well, just handing them possession at times. Almost happy to play on the counter because they got rapid pace in Doku and Haaland. They are lightning quick. Here's Timber on the right hand side. Good ball into the space here for Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres, well defended by Josko Gvardiol. Tijani Reinders looking to clear. Well, Tijani Reinders started his career for Manchester City in the perfect manner. That game against Wolves, one of the 2 victories that Manchester City have had this season. He was irresistible on debut. A goal and 2 assists, but his overall play just showed you that Man City might have really picked out a gem in the transfer window for not much investment. Since then, he just struggled a little bit. Saw that against United. He did play well. But for City, their midfield really does hinge on Rodri, doesn't it? When he plays, and more often than not, City win. Here's Saliba. And we'll check on Saliba as to how he's moving. Good ball into the channel here for Madueke to chase. And Gvardiol matches him stride for stride and nearly finds a perfect pass to Kusanov there. Well, Lonnie Madueke is going to have a tough battle on his hands here against Josko Gvardiol. Again, what a player he is in terms of the way he defends and bombs on forward. A limited role now as the left-sided centre-back. But we saw him when he first burst onto the City scene. He was playing as a left-back. He scored plenty of goals for Pep Guardiola. At one point, he was the second highest goal scorer behind Erling Haaland. And Haaland had like 20 plus and Guardiola used to have 5. But just shows you how valuable Josko Gvardiol was to the setup. City have kept 2 clean sheets in the season so far. That 4-0 victory against Wolves and that 3-0 victory against Manchester United. I mean, the games that they did lose, especially the one against Spurs, that was damaging, wasn't it? 2-0 at home. Thomas Frank's first big victory as Spurs manager. And then, of course, that 2-1 loss to Brighton. After taking the lead, Brighton pulling 2 goals back for back-to-back defeats for Man City. So since then, they've just steadied their form. A victory against United and Napoli with clean sheets in both games. City struggling to get a hold of the ball here. Again, in real close quarters, City worked that beautifully courtesy of Haaland. And now Reinders can run. And Haaland, look at him burst forward. Surely he has to find him. It's Erling Haaland. It's 1-0 to Manchester City. He starts the move and he finishes it off for his 6th goal in the Premier League. Manchester City have the league and no surprises. It's Erling Haaland. Well, he starts the move and he finishes it in typical fashion. And when he's through on goal, there is an inevitability about it. He is so lethal. Good pick out from the midfield area. I think it was Tijani Reinders who did find the through pass here. Arsenal lose the duel in the midfield. It's really congested in the midfield area. And this is where City work it so cleverly. It starts off with Haaland and look at him run here. There's no stopping him. Like a freight train he goes. His first touch is assured on his right foot. Slots it into the bottom corner. Exquisite from Erling Haaland. Well, Gabriel Magalhaes could not keep pace with him. Haaland, when he runs with green grass in front of him, he is an unstoppable force. And Arsenal's defence has been breached for the first time in open play in the Premier League this season. Haaland has 6 of Manchester City's 9 Premier League goals. He is just that special, isn't he? And now Arsenal will have to come out and play. They have had more of the ball, but City's this fresh new approach of playing on the counter-attack is really dangerous because they've got technically secure players all over the pitch, and they've got pace and drive in multiple areas too. A lot of talk was about Arsenal's lineup when the match started. No Eze, no Ethan Nwaneri. Nwaneri maybe for obvious reasons because he's still young, but when Arsenal trounced Manchester City 5-1 last season in this very ground, Ethan Nwaneri scored a special goal, and it just felt like this season might be the season where he just takes another jump to his levels. He's not found consistent game time yet after signing that contract extension with Arsenal in the summer. Pep Guardiola with a concerned look on his face despite having the perfect start to the match. Well, Erling Haaland is just different gravy in terms of striking this season. He is so lethal. Just waiting for the ball to be delivered. You just know that Haaland's just going to slot it into the bottom corner. There's just precision in his finishing is absolutely ridiculous to see. As a pure number 9, well, now with Mbappe playing as a number 9 for Xabi Alonso's Real Madrid, it really is a head-to-head battle now. Earlier it used to be Mbappe plays on the left wing, Haaland as a centre forward, and now it is head-to-head. So Mbappe absolutely shining for Real Madrid. But Erling Haaland's goal ratio is an absolute joke, man. Trying to turn away from the ball here. Rodri a bit harsh with the challenge. Fair in the eyes of the referee, and Timber miscontrols. Arteta is trying to just get his team back with a bit of belief here. It's going to be hard work for them. They have to come out and play here. Mikel Merino has to be using his ability to crash the box. Seen that with Spain when he does play with the likes of Pedri in that midfield. Here's Guardiola. Decent pass, is a bit risky. Zubimendi nicks it away. Oh, City nearly pouncing on that Arsenal error here. Arsenal not looking as crisp as they have been this season. City are to every second ball in a flash here. Arsenal cannot cope. Rodri. Here's Ruben Diaz. You can see Kusanov is just temporarily holding the width before Bernardo Silva, who will fill in as that right winger. Yet City's bench isn't as strong as Arsenal's, that's for sure. So City will feel like they have to do the damage with their starting 11. They've got Oscar Bob and Savinho as attacking players that they can bring on if the game demands it. As for Arsenal, as I mentioned before, Eze, Saka, I mean, those are two game changers that Mikel Arteta has on the bench. And if the scoreline remains the same or slightly worse for Arsenal, I want to see how quickly Mikel Arteta will make the change. Here's Rodri, just dropping in between the centre halves. You can see it's now Kusanov is almost playing as a right back. The two centre backs being Rodri and Ruben Diaz here. Again, everybody just dropping into that midfield area, trying to just create the overload for Arsenal. The space is out wide though. Arsenal have to be careful because Doku on the left-hand side with any sort of space could be really dangerous. Yes, Kusanov, good defending by Gabriel. And Calafiori mops up. And Rodri very, very comfortable with the ball. Beautifully done there by the Ballon d'Or winner. Here's Nico O'Reilly now. Josko Guardiola, Jeremy Doku now. Does he look to take on Jurrien Timber early? But, ooh, it seems that there's a injury here for Manchester City. I think it's Abdulkadir Kusanov. Does he land awkwardly? I think he might have just hyperextended his foot. That might be very, very painful for the Uzbeki centre-back. Well, City might have to make changes if Kusanov cannot continue. As we have a look at the goal again here, Reinders does very well to drive with the ball. He's committing both centre-backs who neither of them are looking to engage by the time it's too late because Haaland is behind him. Reinders knows exactly what's coming. All he has to do, look at that. As soon as he picks his head up, he knows which side Haaland's going to be. So as soon as Haaland appears in his blind side, he can just slip it in because Haaland's got the pace. That's the benefit of scanning, and Reinders has scanned that occasion while carrying the ball with pace. So that is a very useful skill displayed by Tijani Reinders. Well, City have had just over 20% of the ball, but do they care? Absolutely not. 15 minutes on the clock. City have the perfect start here. I talked about how Liverpool supporters, players, manager, everybody will just be putting their feet up and enjoying this game because they know that this game is a denter to either one of the teams who don't pick up 3 points because the gap at the top increases here. If Arsenal are to lose, that's a 6-point gap already at the end of September. Well, John Stones is on the bench. The obvious defensive replacement if Kusanov cannot continue. He's not looking to warm up here, Kusanov, with a bit of spray on his foot. Back on the touchline here. We'll wait and see if he can carry on with the same vigor and pace that he's normally accustomed to. Well, Arsenal, for all the possession that they've had, have come nowhere near the City box in terms of threatening Donnarumma. Donnarumma really did announce himself in style against Manchester United. Despite it being a comfortable result, he did pull off a blinding save against Manchester United with Brian Mbeumo catching it sweet on the volley. Saliba and Haaland battling. Saliba will win most of them. I've been particularly impressed with Haaland's hold of play this season. I mean, it's gone up a level. If you saw it against Manchester United, every ball that was pinged to him was controlled and laid off with really excellent weight. Here's Madueke. O'Reilly now, trying to keep him company. So is Doku. Timber thought about crossing it, decides to go towards the byline. Timber looks to deliver. It's a corner for Arsenal. First corner of the match, and it's for the Gunners. Well, Jurrien Timber has scored 2 Premier League goals this season. That 5-0 thumping at Leeds, well, both goals came from corners. Arsenal are still very lethal from corners. We'll wait and see whether or not Manchester City have learnt their lesson. And they've got Haaland, Guardiola, Kusanov, Ruben Diaz and Haaland, yep, the ones that have got size and potential to try and disrupt the Arsenal backline with Saliba, Timber, Calafiori, and more importantly, Gabriel Magalhaes. Doesn't clear the first man though. Madueke, another opportunity, decides to go on the outside on his right foot here. Good defending. Foden helps out. It might be another corner, but Foden does brilliantly to save the corner. Clears that away. Well, Foden scored against Manchester United, had an assist against Napoli where he just clipped the ball in the air for Erling Haaland to have a looping header against Napoli. 2-0 victory. That game was pretty much dead in the 20th minute after Di Lorenzo picked up a straight red card. And Donnarumma yet to concede a goal in the 2 games that he's played for Manchester City. Well, Rodri and I think it was Bernardo Silva who talked about Gigi Donnarumma's presence. I mean, they said that you almost have to find the top corner if you're trying to score against him. Here's Doku now in the central position. His ball carrying is absolutely elite. Again, if he picks up those central pockets, could be very difficult for the Arsenal players. And now Doku's just drifting onto the right-hand side. Throw in for Manchester City. And Trossard hasn't really gotten going so far on that left-hand side. Surprising that Gabriel Martinelli didn't start if Eze wasn't going to, because Martinelli would have had the confidence after scoring that goal against Athletic Club. Good ball there by Guardiola. Look at the pace of Jeremy Doku, but somehow keeps the ball in too. Has Timber scrambling. It's a very good pass under real pressure there by Jurrien Timber. Here's Mikel Merino. Again, risky, very risky touch. He's been robbed off the ball here. Erling Haaland, unselfish, passes it. It's Tijani Reinders. It's straight at David Raya. Well, that all came from Mikel Merino with heavy touches in the midfield. Gets robbed, and I thought Erling Haaland on his right foot had every reason to try and give it a swing. Instead, it sat up nicely for Reinders, and good burst by Madueke. Nearly runs that out of play, but gets that into the box. Easily cleared by Rodri. Again, Madueke enters the box, no problem, but the final product, nowhere near there. Here's Bernardo Silva. Jeremy Doku. Rodri. Just controls the play very comfortably there. Victor Gyökeres yet to really have any sort of impact in the match. The two top scorers in the league, well, Gyökeres is joint second. A bunch of players do have 3 Premier League goals. But Erling Haaland has got double that. He's got 6 now. As match week 5 has still got 70 minutes to go. Again, Arteta's approach at Anfield, where they were on top for the first half. They let it pretty much slip in terms of control in the second. Again, the critics will say, is he overly cautious in terms of his approach? It is a successful one in terms of winning games, because Arsenal win a lot of Premier League games. But in those big games, in the deciding ones, the crunch situations, does this tactic work? Good pass there by Merino. Oh, it's Trossard. It's not Gyökeres, is it? Because I don't see the pace there to try and trouble him. I think it was Gyökeres who dropped deep. Now he's involved in the play. Again, heavy first touch there by Gyökeres. The ball doesn't stick to him, but he tries to track back. It's Doku. Again, City are just biting into the challenges a whole lot better. And in that instant when Mikel Merino slipped the ball through, that should have been, from an Arsenal perspective, to Gyökeres and not to Trossard. Trossard does not have the pace to burst past defenders. But if that was Gyökeres, he does have the pace, and he's a little finisher too. And there's talk of Arteta preferring Kai Havertz as the centre forward, but when you do spend that kind of money on a recognised number 9, he does go into your starting lineup, and fair play to him for scoring 3 goals in 4 games. But Arsenal, with nearly half of the first half taken place, have not yet registered a shot. Haaland, beautiful chest control, brings that down, but no control there from Reinders. Again, from a Pep Guardiola point of view, the game plan is working to a T here. Is this the second iteration of Pep Guardiola where he's not overly fussed about control of the ball and is, almost targeting efficiency? Oh, that's not a foul there. Nico O'Reilly cannot do anything about it. He's controlling the ball. He's completely shielded it from Mikel Merino. That is not a foul. Merino might have found contact on it, but Nico O'Reilly has every right to be a bit pissed off with that. Halfway point of the first half. Arsenal need to just try finding some shots here, either from inside the box or from the outside. They don't have many natural shooters in terms of outside the box threat, apart from Declan Rice. We saw Zubimendi with that unbelievable volley technique against Nottingham Forest. Another magnificent touch by Haaland. Oh, excellent work by Jurrien Timber. Wins the ball cleanly here. Raya has to keep it short. Reinders is still on the deck here. Arsenal continue. They have the right to play because the referee hasn't blown his whistle, but he just might. Again, the game can continue because it's not a head injury and it's not a foul in the eyes of the referee. So Arsenal have every right to continue. Again, look at Haaland's first touch. I mean, the way that he just cushions the pass. That might be a foul, Reinders has a point here. The two Dutchmen in the duel there. The ball goes away, but he does catch Reinders first by the looks of it. Tijani Reinders. Mikel Arteta not happy on the sidelines, and rightfully so. His team have not got going at home as well. Bit of the pressure here, and Arsenal would have been the marginal favourites heading into this match. Despite the quality of Pep Guardiola's men, And when you see the lineup, how can City ever be the underdogs? I'll never know. Good ball by Foden, cleared away by Gabriel. Foden picks up the ball again, but he's been robbed of it by Calafiori. Again, Arsenal not able to launch a counter-attack because very good work there by Abdulkadir Kusanov and Bernardo Silva in close quarters. Here's Saliba. Declan Rice dropping in between the two centre-backs. It's almost like they're playing as a pivot here. Declan Rice and Zubimendi. Mikel Merino and Trossard as the two number 10s. Gyökeres, heavy touch, but Trossard brings it under control. Calafiori on the outside, ball into the box. It's a wild swing there by Ricardo Calafiori. Has that taken a touch? Because that is not well aimed by the looks of it. I think it has. Apologies to Calafiori, who's got a wonderful left foot, doesn't he? He scored in the reverse fixture last season, didn't he? When Arsenal won 2-1 against Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. That left-footed shot on his debut as well, if I'm not mistaken. That was some way to announce yourself to the Arsenal faithful. Well, 25 minutes on the clock. Arsenal once again relying on their set pieces here. Declan Rice has got a wicked delivery on him. Can he utilize it and cause City problems here? Donnarumma will be expected to come out and clear whatever's in his presence. Ball inside. Donnarumma does exactly that. Great punch out there from him. Here's Gyökeres on the right-hand side. Doku very strong. Well, he feels that he has done just enough to earn the goal kick. I think it's another corner here for Arsenal. Well, Donnarumma, look at his size and presence. Really is a monster in the air, isn't he? 6'6", and when he jumps and extends his arms, there's no chance. Madueke on the other side. A left-footed in-swinger incoming for Arsenal. Still waiting for their first meaningful effort on goal here. Madueke's ball in. Good delivery. Cleared away at the front post by City. Foden looking to get City away here. He's just pumped that in the air, and City might be in business if they works in their favour. Instead it doesn't. Madueke tries to bring this under control. Good feet and control from him. And Madueke trying to drive forward. He's done brilliantly to hold off the challenges. Goes around the outside. The cutback is decent. But once again, no Arsenal player in sight. Well, this time Noni Madueke's cutback is right in the middle of the goal. That's where you see someone like Odegaard attacking this. Let's see where Mikel Merino is when this ball is being played. Oh, he's picked up the wrong position, hasn't he? It was Calafiori there, of all people, who's trying to get a shot away. But good defending by Man City again. They're protecting their box. Good personality. Ball into the box via a throw-in. Again, City clear. City playing like a typical away side against Arsenal. It's just that instead of it's a lower half team, it's a team of real ballers littered around the Manchester City squad. They're defending well. The back three is in tandem. They've made sure that the Arsenal forwards have had no joy. Mikel Arteta trying to solve this Pep Guardiola puzzle. Madueke's flick, brilliant there from Doku. Robs the ball so well. He is such a nimble-footed footballer. Again, he's another player. If he polishes up his final third actions, you're looking at one of the best wingers. I mean, the way that he can accelerate from a standing start is frightening. The ability to jink both ways too. I mean, as a player who plays in central areas, that would be your worst nightmare. At least as a fullback, you can prepare yourself as you train against tricky wingers. But when you're in the central areas, like Luke Shaw found out the hard way. I mean, yes, he plays as a left back for most of his career, but now as a left-sided centre back, he's not been able to affect the game. Oh, there's a couple of players warming up for Arsenal already, and it's the two attackers that we expect Arteta to bring on at some point in the game. It's Saka and Eze who are warming up. Now this is where we want to see bravery from Arteta. Does he go at half-time and say, I'm going to make these two changes right at the stroke of 45 minutes. Cannot wait for the game to bypass anymore. Here's O'Reilly with the throw-in. Be a foul there on Timber. It isn't. I think it might be from Erling Haaland, who's got a wry smile on his face, and why not? The way that he just torments defenders. So far, he's had a brilliant game. I mean, not just the goal, but the way that he's held the ball up. The touches have been good. The passes have been weighted well. Remember last season, at some point, Roy Keane said that his hold-up play was like a League Two striker. It seemed a bit harsh at the time, but it came from a hypercritical point of view from a world-class player like Roy Keane back in the day. And when he says something, sometimes it might sound outlandish, but you have to take note, because this man has seen a lot of football. As if you listen to him talk about football, he's the man who really does love the game. So it had criticism despite it being slightly overboard. I think Haaland has taken full notes of this one, and in the summer, his hold-up play has just gone up a level. Well, even world-class strikers like Erling Haaland have room for improvement. That just means every player cannot take things for granted on the football pitch. Yes, Haaland will score you 100 goals, no problem. But it's all about how you make your team play as well. And that's what Pep Guardiola has emphasized on. And you can look at Phil Foden defending here. You've seen him being in defensive positions a lot here in this first half. The City players are very much buying into this work hard and try and counter-attack philosophy. So used to dominating the ball, and Ricardo Calafiori is drying up the ball here and looking to fling this into this box. Can Arsenal yet to get any sort of shot? Good defending. Again, it's Haaland, who's another aspect that Haaland has improved in is his box defending in the opposition territory, as Madueke's header was never really going to be on target, was it? Not known for his aerial ability. Good clip pass there, but it's Erling Haaland who wins the first header. He's trying to mark Gabriel Magalhaes. It's the right thing to do here. Just act as a blocker, make things difficult for him. Whenever I see teams lining up against Gabriel Magalhaes, they let him have a free run. They've got no at least put a fullback on him to run and just try and block over him, because he's going to jump all over you. Pep Guardiola has gone very simple. I'm just going to put Erling Haaland wherever Gabriel is on the pitch in these set-piece situations and let him deal with it. 1v1, mano a mano. Zubomendi's pass is a curious one, really. Oh, it's a risky back header there by Kusanov, bailed out by Ruben Diaz. And Arsenal not having any sort of control in the final third. Ricardo Calafiori looking for the throw in here. Hasn't bombed on forward much in this first half. Arsenal really lacking any sort of wide play on that left-hand side. And safety first approach here. It's a different Man City, man. I mean, earlier you would see them trying to keep possession. Instead, they're just happy to go long. It's not a problem. Push up the pitch. It's almost like Pep Guardiola is adapting to English football after leaving the legacy that he has in the 10 years that he's been. Everybody wants to play like Pep, the old Pep that is, and Pep Guardiola is just playing 4D chess here. Everybody's going to play my way. I'm going to play the old English way. If Julian Alvarez was still at the club, I'm pretty sure he would go 4-4-2. Here's Mikel Merino. Really was unfair, doesn't it? Because they had Haaland and Julian Alvarez as their two strikers. Here's Gabriel Magalhaes. Zubomendi. He's got 2 Premier League goals against United and that wonder strike from outside the box against Nottingham Forest. Here's Saliba. Here's Declan Rice. Again, Arsenal far too lateral in their passing. Need to be a lot more vertical and try and penetrate the Man City lines. Here's Declan Rice. Merino. Playing as the left-sided 8 here. It's far too congested on that side. The switch of play surely has to be on here to Madueke. Arsenal delay though. And cautious with the ball here. Here's Calafiori. Not quite hugging the touchline on the left-hand side. Almost playing as the auxiliary midfielder. Saliba. Uncharacteristic mistake there from him, but Arsenal recover. Again, good shape here from Man City, forcing Arsenal to go backwards, to go forwards. Again, these are all side-to-side passing. No problems for Manchester City. Erling Haaland with a nice press here applied. Now City are pressing with a lot more vigor. Ooh, that's risky from Gabriel Magalhaes. And he's very fortunate that City don't get that pass right on that side. Oh, that's a nasty foul. It is very unnecessary from Bernardo Silva. It's going to be a yellow card for the captain. It is so late. It is extremely unnecessary from Bernardo Silva. Talk about leaving one on your opponent. I don't think he was very happy with that Gabriel challenge, which was clean as a whistle. He just wanted to give one back to him. Phew. That is bad from Bernardo Silva. So unnecessary. It's dangerous too. Well, Bernardo Silva knew exactly what he was doing there. Leaving one on Gabriel Magalhaes. Well, we're heading into the final 10 minutes of the first half. To Arsenal's credit, they haven't really conceded any other shot at David Raya's goal, but I don't think that's a positive because, I mean, you can't take it as a positive, but you're at home, you need to win. It has to be the other way around where you need to be registering shots rather than try and stop a few. Again, there's the old take, isn't it? Arsenal's backline is very strong. They've got, I've said this time and time again, they've got the best defensive depth in Europe in terms of 8 defenders at the club. Does he then need to play Zubimendi, Rice and Merino? I mean, it's a fair question to ask because Gabriel and Saliba are unbelievable 1v1 defenders. So, can allow you to push up as a team, maybe add even a bit of creativity because from the central areas, Arsenal have had nothing, let's be honest. There's been no such clever through passes, chip balls into the corner. We have not seen Gyökeres chase the channel once. Again, Arsenal dominating the ball. Yep, the possession stats will be in their favour, but it's far too conservative in terms of passing. Zubimendi breaking the lines, but his outside of the boot pass is not on target. Oh, Donnarumma has been very, very composed. City play out with real danger. Oof. Donnarumma, well, he must have heard a lot of criticisms about him not being as good as on the ball, and he might have taken things personally, and it's brilliant from Doku, who's won the ball. Pick your head up. Oh, there was a chance there. Instead, he's kept it short. It's Jeremy Doku, who continues to drive. What a run this is. It's Rodri. It's a left-footed scuffer from Rodri Hernandez. Well, look at Jeremy Doku, man, from nearly the halfway line to the box. He just carries the ball. And then you don't know as a defender which side he's going to go. He decides to go on his left foot in the central areas. Just kind of ran out of ideas, but he did find the right pass, which was to Rodri. Gyökeres trying to win the challenge. Kusanov, very, very reckless. He goes in with it, but the through pass couldn't find Gyökeres. Kusanov is brave there. Brave and reckless. Goes with that stooping header. He loses that duel, and then City are a bit exposed on that side. And Donnarumma's ball to Haaland. Oh, that was heavy from Gabriel Magalhaes. That surely yellow card, no? Well, Haaland is a beast. It's going to take something very monumental to keep him down. Well, the camera pans to the Arsenal bench where Bukayo Saka and Eberechi Eze both wait for their numbers to be called here. Well, Saka, of course, Arteta had to be cautious about him because he's coming back after a 3 to 4 week injury. But the decision not to have your £60 million player on the pitch in Eberechi Eze is a very strange decision. Here's Saliba. Rice. Haven't seen Rice bomb forward. As I mentioned before, he's not playing as the left-sided centre midfielder, although it might just show on the team sheet. Now he finally drives with the ball. Brilliant carry here from Declan Rice. It's not a good pass though for Madueke. He has to check his run. Here's Madueke to Moreno. Thought about the shot. Space opening up on the left-hand side to Ricardo Calafiori. He's got a runner on the outside. Decides to use him. Really looks to clip the ball into the box. Good header there by Guardiola. It's Madueke. It's a scuffed effort again. It's a shot for Arsenal, but it's horribly off target. And Noddy Madueke not getting his shot away on that occasion. Calafiori waiting for the run. It was Zubomendi who clipped it towards the far stick. Good defending there by Josko Guardiola. But Madueke's shot nowhere near threatening. Under 5 minutes remain of the first half. Arsenal dominating possession. Have not threatened Gianluigi Donnarumma whatsoever. But they're getting corners here. It's their 4th of the match. City have to be careful. Keep conceding these corners for Arsenal. It's just a matter of time before they utilize one of them as Declan Rice swings this one into the box. Donnarumma again, outstanding. But he's caught cold there. Saliba's header puts that back into the area, trying to get that on target. Donnarumma looking to come and claim here. Looking to punch rather. Does punch, but it almost catches the top of his knuckles. He doesn't get any distance on it. But I think it's just caught him on the side. Doesn't get the height on it. Again, Donnarumma not interested in playing out the back. He understands that there's a few more minutes left for the first half. Keep the clean sheet. We'll go long. We'll try and press up the pitch here, and he does exactly that. Haaland wins his header brilliantly. He wins it again. Doku trying to battle Saliba. That is a real physical battle. Goes against Doku, surprisingly. Good strength shown there by William Saliba. Jurrien Timber with the throw-in. Again, haven't seen him much in an attacking capacity. Zubomendi pumps this forward. Gyökeres trying his best, and he does more than that. But Guardiola's interception is excellent. Arsenal do pick up the third ball though. Zubomendi to Jurrien Timber. On the right-hand side, Madueke is inverted here. Puts this into a dangerous area. City once again defend the situation, but the danger is still not cleared. Trossard, Calafiori, Declan Rice has a quick scan before he makes his mind up here. Trossard with the ball into the box. The defender and the goalkeeper nearly getting into a muddle there. Still managed to clear again. Bernardo Silva heads that away. Here's Saliba, clips that into an awkward angle there. Look at the pace again of Kusanov. I think the offside flag was belatedly raised by the referee, applauded by Ruben Diaz. Well, Diaz had made that near post interception. Donnarumma was waiting to pounce on it. Diaz takes no chances. Good work there by Timber. First time that he's really gone on the outside of the fullback. Well, 90 seconds of the first half remaining. Normal time. Haaland's header. Again, a bit of head tennis being played here, but Arsenal secure possession, but well enough there. Gyökeres' touch is good. Again, Arsenal looking to spring forward here. It's Madueke up against Nico O'Reilly. Madueke takes his time, invites more defenders. It's far too late there from Madueke. Has to be a lot quicker in his decision making. He has another opportunity though. Checks in on his left foot. Ball into the box. Brilliant from Donnarumma. It's Calafiori. It's over. Another shot in anger for Arsenal. It's Madueke again on the right hand side trying to make things happen for Arsenal. And Madueke had a chance here. He had to try and burst past Nico O'Reilly. Instead, he checks his run here. Cleared away nicely. He gets another bite of the cherry here. The good pass by Timber. His first time. Could have clipped it. Instead, goes on his trusted left foot. Calafiori with a touch and volley well over. Arsenal still searching for answers. Declan Rice losing out on that occasion. Arsenal trying to create at least one more opportunity before the half-time whistle. Saliba. Gabriel. Switch pass is beautiful onto the right-hand side. Madueke trying to take on Doku. Goes on the inside. Clever flick here for Urian Timber on the right-hand side. 4 minutes of added on time has been signaled by the fourth official. Marino, clever ball into the channel here for Madueke. Goes around the outside. Madueke with a shot. And it's a combination of Donnarumma and the post that come to Manchester City's aid. Much better this from Madueke. Shows his directness. Goes on the outside. Shoots with his right foot. It's a save, and it's a very good save from Gigi Donnarumma at his near post. Strong wrist to it. And it's another corner for Arsenal. I think it's their 5th of this first half. Oh, it's another opportunity there. City defend their corner so well. Here's Madueke trying to go around the outside. Good ball in towards again by Timber, but it's got far too much for it. And Gabriel Magalhaes having to keep that in play, and he does very well there, Gabriel. Here's Rice. Zubimendi. On the right-hand side is Madueke. Oh, there's not much on the same wavelength there. I think the amount of work that Jeremy Doku has put in defending has been just brilliant. Just look at Oh, there's Madueke's last touch. It's gone out for a goal kick, but I think the amount of work that Doku, especially Doku, has put in terms of a defensive capacity will really please Pep Guardiola. Phil Foden also has been tracking back and has been doing a lot of the work. Well, City are without Ryan Cherki and Omar Marmoush, so those are two big options that Pep Guardiola would have liked on his bench in terms of attack, but he will trust this team to get the job done here. Carabao Cup action midweek, so Pep Guardiola can rotate midweek and focus on getting all 3 points here without having to worry about rest and recovery. Bernardo Silva hits the ball against Leandro Trossard. Was that Gyökeres? Almost look like twins, don't they? Both got their hair slicked in the same position too. Oh, it's needless there from Trossard. Might have just hit Bernardo Silva in the tenders there by the looks of it. Has Trossard lashed out here? We'll wait and see. Well, VAR will have a closer look, especially with off-the-ball incidents such as that. We saw midweek where Dani Carvajal against Marseille with a headbutt motion got a straight red card for it. It was needless at the time. Madrid went on to win the game. Gabriel Magalhaes getting a talking to with the referee. He's the man with the captain's armband in Odegaard's absence. Need to try and have a look at what the incident was. Bernardo Silva feels that he was the victim there. After the challenge that he made on Gabriel Magalhaes, he has no right to claim victimhood. It was a proper street tackle, wasn't it? Well, the referee trying to get a bit of order here into this game. The time is really ticking on for Arsenal. This isn't in his favour here. Gabriel Magalhaes' best interest would be to get the ball going and try and create one last opportunity before the half-time whistle. Nothing wrong with what Bernardo Silva did. It's almost schoolboyish, wasn't it? Throws the ball at Bernardo Silva. Needless. Bernardo Silva has to be careful because he's on a yellow card already for something reckless. The last thing he has to do, because now he's very much in the referee's eye line. If he makes any sort of foolish tackle, I don't think the referee will spare him here. Does Pep Guardiola take off his captain? We'll wait and see. Haaland's flick on. Saliba Boots that into the air. We're into overtime here in stoppage time as that ball breaks kindly for Arsenal. It's Madueke. Good strength shown there by O'Reilly. Oh, it's brilliant composure too. What a player he is. Defending, close control. The pass to Haaland is accurate. Look at Haaland again, controlling the ball brilliantly. Superb work there from Erling Haaland. Well, Nico O'Reilly was just summed up with that play. The way that he won the tackle, perfect, clean as a whistle. Bit of nifty footwork, and then the accurate ball into the channel for Erling Haaland. All facets combined in that one play for Nico O'Reilly. Well, Urian Timber will take the throw in. Here's Mikel Merino. He's been dropped off the ball by Rodri. Not the first time that Merino has been dropped off. Good pass. Floated into the left-hand side for Jeremy Doku. Looking to isolate against Urian Timber. He's done that well. And Madueke helps out defensively. I think the referee might blow the half-time whistle before giving this corner. I think he'll be very favourable to Arsenal if is the case. I think it is. The half-time whistle has been blown by the referee. And Erling Haaland once again on the score sheet. 6th goal in 5 games. Well, 4.5 games really for Manchester City in the Premier League this season. Well, Arsenal have had more of the ball. They've had a few more shots towards the end of the first half. They've finally asked the question of Gigi Donnarumma courtesy of Noni Madueke, but they'll need a lot more if they're trying to overturn this deficit and claw the lead at the top, with Liverpool looking to race away here. Half-time at the Etihad Stadium. It's Arsenal 0, Manchester City 1. Well, in terms of 45 minutes, that hasn't gone your way. That's pretty much it for Mikel Arteta. The experiment of being conservative hasn't worked. The introduction of Trossard on that left-hand side was a strange decision, eliminating any sort of pace on that left-hand side in terms of the attack. Madueke, on the other hand, on the right-hand side, has shown his directness and his willingness to run at the fullback. Hasn't yielded any sort of success yet, but it is a positive for Arsenal. But that midfield with Zubimendi, Moreno and Declan Rice haven't really contributed too much in terms of allowing and opening up the City defense. A lot more can be done in terms of trying to rectify the situation. As I said before, when Erling Haaland scored, and we looked at the team sheet, and then Erling Haaland scores pretty much 10 minutes on the clock, then you want to see, when does Mikel Arteta decide that he needs to bring on his 2 game breakers, his 2 game changers in Saka and Ebreze. The longer he waits, question marks will be asked. Question marks definitely will be asked, because you want to see how much potency Arsenal can have, because you've been crying out for all these attacking players and now they've finally delivered into your squad. You want your manager to go all out there and try and attack the opposition. Instead, he's gone with a bit more of a cautious approach, and it might just work. As I mentioned before, as it stands, Arsenal are in 4th and Manchester City in 5th, both on 9 points. This is not good for Arsenal, and if they were looking to try and claw the gap and keep pace with Liverpool, they're already 6 points behind as it stands against the reigning defending champions. Liverpool have been flawless despite not playing well. Isak and Wirtz have not gotten onto the score sheet yet. Still, they put teams away. That is an ominous sign for anyone trying to chase Liverpool. Tottenham are trying to keep pace. They've got 10 points. So have Bournemouth. But it almost feels like this is Liverpool's league already. They've gotten the lead and they just might be a runaway train again. Well, from Pep Guardiola's point of view, he's going to keep it as is for as long as possible. Bernardo Silva, the only real concern for Pep Guardiola, because he's picked up a yellow card, he's done a bit of needless shenanigans off the ball as well. Maybe he looks to bring on someone like Savinho or even Oscar Bob, who is pretty much in the ilk of Bernardo Silva, where he's got the change of direction, the close control. Might be a very useful channel on that right hand side. Oscar Bob did start a couple of games, didn't he, when City began the season. From Arsenal's point of view, they have to bring on Eze and Saka. Well, almost immediately. The longer he waits, the longer it just gets worse. You cannot prolong this. He has to be a bit more brave. He has to throw caution to the wind here. If you see the same team coming out after the 45 minutes, he might see that the team had improved towards the last 5 or 10 minutes in the first half, but it's pretty much only because Madueke was pretty much doing all the carrying down that right hand side. Imagine a bit more support if he had in that channel. If you expect someone like Eze on that right hand side with Madueke trying to combine, could really add a bit more dynamism, create a lot more problems for Manchester City. Instead, if you see the same lineup coming up again, Mikel Merino, Declan Rice and Zubimendi in the midfield, almost feels like overkill from an Arsenal point of view. So from Arteta, Saka, Eze immediately. From City, as is your, it's working for them. Not having the ball isn't really hurting them. They're limiting Arsenal to speculative shots rather than carefully constructed attempts on target. So I think if you look at it this way, Arsenal have to be on the front foot. They have to force the initiative, and this plays right into the hands of Manchester City, who only really have two counter-attacking threats in terms of real pace with Erling Haaland and Jeremy Doku, but often that's all you need. We saw with the goal where Erling Haaland makes a run from the halfway line to the box in seconds. I mean, that was so quick. Tijani Reinders just sliding the ball into him. A short right foot finish into the corner. Arsenal concede their first goal from open play this season, and it was a beautifully constructed goal on the counter-attack. Let's have a look at the other results that did take place on Sunday. I was watching the Bournemouth and Newcastle game. That was a very cagey affair. Expected a bit more from Bournemouth, considering that Newcastle had a difficult game midweek against Barcelona. Was at home, but they were made to chase a lot in that game. So you expected Andoni Iraola to really press home that advantage. But Newcastle, to their credit, keeping a clean sheet in a tough place. Bournemouth away, never easy. It was pretty much a game of draws here, as Sunderland picked up another point. Another valuable point for them. They've had a very good start to the season. Let me see where they are in the table. A 1-1 draw after Matty Cash scored in the 67th minute. Sunderland are in 8th. They are in level of points with Chelsea. This is perfect for Sunderland in terms of a start to the campaign. In terms of terrible starts, you're looking at Wolverhampton Wanderers, who have lost all 5 games in the start of the Premier League. -9 goal difference. West Ham are really poor. We expected them to be in and around the relegation side, but what we did not expect is Aston Villa to be there. 5 games played, just 3 points on the board. And Unai Emery's summer window, which was a real head scratcher. I mean, some of the players that he decided, well, not just him, but the club decided to purchase, well, the likes of Jadon Sancho, Victor Lindelof. Why are you buying Manchester United cast-offs? It makes no sense. None of them started, but it just shows you that when you need a bit of that incentive to really push forward, you need to see a lot more. He's got a few injuries though, doesn't he? He's got Tielemans is injured, Barkley is injured, Onana is injured. Look at the bench and who he looks to bring on. He brings on Maatsen, Harvey Elliott, Daniel Marlon, Jadon Sancho. I mean, that's a decent bit of depth there for Unai Emery, but he's not been able to pick up points, and that is a bit concerning because they will have European commitments as well. So I think Aston Villa will almost sacrifice their league to try and go the distance in the Europa League if they can. Missed out on the Champions League berth by, what was it, goal difference in the end. It was a bit cruel on them. They had a good season, but have an opportunity in Europe to get a bit of silverware now that Tottenham have managed to get one. See Chelsea picking up the Conference League last season. Well, Erling Haaland scored in the 9th minute in a rapid counter-attack which he began. Since then, let's have a quick look at the stats here. Possession in Arsenal's favour, 4 shots to 3, a majority of them coming towards the end of the first half. Just the 1 shot on target there for Arsenal. City have had 2. Yeah, City are very much in their shape. Only 110 accurate passes in 45 minutes. That is unlike Manchester City. I mean, this is, like I said, is this a new iteration of Pep Guardiola football where he is not looking to be a possession hog? He's happy to give the ball away. He maybe sees his profile of players around him. There's no more Kevin De Bruyne, David Silva, and all those silky players that would keep the ball and, you know, frustrate opponents. Instead, he's seen a team where there are players with real physical attributes, and he's trying to maximize it. And fair play to him, is just trying to pick up a bit of form here, beat Manchester United and Arsenal in back-to-back Premier League games. And if they keep a clean sheet too, that is an added bonus because that's 3 clean sheets on the bounce. And there was a lot of talk of Manchester City in a bit of turmoil after they suffered back-to-back defeats against Tottenham and Brighton. But now with 3 wins on the bounce, including the one in the Europe, City look like they're back. Looking at Haaland's finish again, man. He's such a natural number 9, isn't he? Yep, we spoke about this. The halftime double substitution has happened. Eze and Saka coming on here. It was needs must from Arteta's point of view. He could not wait a second into the second half here, because as it stands, Liverpool have a 6-point gap over Arsenal and Manchester City. This is perfect for Liverpool if it stays this way. Arsenal have to win from their point of view, and that's why they're throwing on their number 7 and their number 10 on the pitch here. I think it will be Trossard and Mikel Merino who will be withdrawn. We'll confirm that very shortly. Declan Rice very much on the pitch as expected. Well, Madueke now will go on to the left-hand side. Well, it looks like Gabriel Magalhaes has come off because Bukayo Saka has the captain's armband. Very, very interesting here. I like the PL channel. I've got Emmanuel Adebayor as the expert here. Bit of spice in that fixture where he scored that header after moving from Arsenal to Manchester City. Manchester City are just playing a different game here, just taking their time, coming out of the pitch, almost got their chest out, absorbing all the boos that they're getting. But they're 1-0 to the good with a massive 45 minutes coming up at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal have to win. City looking for back-to-back victories against Manchester United and now against Arsenal. City are responding with a change too. I'm very surprised to see that. I think it's Bernardo Silva who might be coming off for Matheus Nunes. We'll just confirm that again very shortly. Portuguese midfielder who's now very much a right back under the Pep Guardiola system. Does that mean Kusanov is off? Just wait and see whether or not. I'd be very surprised if it was anybody else. Maybe I don't think Phil Foden or Reinders would be taken off either. Just confirm that very shortly. Well, 3 new players on the pitch here. Matheus Nunes for Manchester City, and as for Arsenal, they've got Ebre Eze and Bukayo Saka on the pitch here as we begin the start of the second half. Has he taken off Gyökeres? No way he has. I can see if... Yeah, Gyökeres is on the pitch, so is Trossard. Gabriel Magalhaes is one player that's come off, and yep, Mikel Merino will be the other. So it's ultra attacking here from Arsenal. Might leave a lot more gaps. Surely a foul there, and it's a needless early yellow card for Jurrien Timber. Not even 30 seconds on the clock in the second half, and Jurrien Timber has already picked up a yellow card. Up against Doku as well for next 45 minutes. He cannot put a foot wrong here. It's a clear as day yellow card. It's a dangerous foul, really. Catches him on the side of the boot, and Jurrien Timber will now have to play on a tightrope here. Yep, he is a nightmare to defend against Jeremy Doku. He's now solidified that left wing spot for now. Pep Guardiola knows his value, knows what he's all about. And he's adding that extra defensive work. If you look at it in terms of balance, this is pretty much City's best 11. Ooh, Madueke has come off. That was a very... Saka and Eze. Yep, that's the call. Magalhaes stays on the pitch. Captain's armband went to Saka despite that. And they've pitched the ball here. Is Eze. And now Saka. It's a very surprising decision to take off Noni Madueke because he was one of Arsenal's brightest attackers. But Bukayo Saka, who is the first choice right winger, comes into the place here. Calafiori, Trossard. Here's Declan Rice now. It's like for like changes, isn't it, from Arsenal? I was very surprised. I was fully expecting Trossard to come off. Here's Magalhaes. Trossard. Trossard's ball into the box. Instead, he's gone out for the big switch instead to Saka. Instant control from Bukayo Saka. Goes around the outside. Good ball into the box. Cleared away. Zubimendi! And that's the first shot again for Arsenal in the second half. Zubimendi has already got 2 Premier League goals this season. Edge of the box. The ball falls to him kindly. Rifles that. Try and get that past Zubimendi from Donnarumma rather. Good first touch there from Saka. Commits plenty of bodies forward. It was a scuff clearance there from Tijani Reinders, and Zubimendi just trying to just open it up for the top corner. That's the closest that Arsenal have come here. Here's Calafiori, who has been fouled off the ball there. Phil Foden. Haven't seen too much of Foden in terms of real attacking threat, but that's largely down to Manchester City not having too much of the ball. Here's Magalhaes, who surrendered the captain's armband to Bukayo Saka. That's why I was confused. Why would he take off Gabriel Magalhaes? There was no way they would do that. Here's Timber. And this is where Arsenal will need to step up that tempo. It shouldn't be at any point in this next 45 minutes at rest. Have to play at a pace to try and make things as uncomfortable as possible for Manchester City. Bernardo Silva is almost playing as the second striker here with Erling Haaland. Phil Foden just drifting onto the right hand side temporarily, so might be an early switch there from Manchester City. Matheus Nunes had come on for Manchester City. Still not sure who he has come on for. It might be Abdulkadir Kusunov. Haven't seen any of the City defenders yet now. Yep, I think it is for Kusunov. Kusunov did battle in that first half, didn't he? Again, there's a chance here for Arsenal now with good break on the left-hand side. It's Trossard up against Nunes. Trossard clips the ball into the box. Well defended. It's Ebreze! Big save by Donnarumma. Catches that flush on his right foot, Eze. And that's what he's all about. The difference maker near the box. But another good save by Gianluigi Donnarumma. Trossard shuffling across. It was Josko Guardiola's header. And Ebre Eze, once again, good first touch on the chest. Sits up nicely on the half volley. Stinging the palms of Donnarumma. Well, 5 minutes into the second half, Arsenal looking a lot more threatening here, and no surprises with the 2 attacking changes that they've made. Here's Haaland holding the ball off against Saliba. Again, he's caught in that Arsenal sandwich, but he still manages to get the throw in here, get his team up the pitch. Pep Guardiola would have been insistent that they need to get the second goal here, because Arsenal will be coming out like caged animals in the second half, knowing exactly what's at stake here. Here's Raya. Decides to go long. O'Reilly's header. He had an excellent first half, Nico O'Reilly. Here's Tijani Reinders. Good drive with the ball into the midfield area to Doku. Here's O'Reilly again. Doku looking to isolate Timber. Timber who's on a yellow card. Doku will have to take him on at every opportunity that he gets. Easier said than done, considering how much energy it does take to really use that explosive power to get by a very good 1v1 defender like Jurrien Timber. Here's Guardiola. Ruben Diaz. Bernardo Silva. Again, City looking a lot more fluid in defense by the looks of it. Donnarumma on his left foot, trying to find an accurate pass. He does to Matheus Nunes, who brings it down nicely but loses his balance. And now Arsenal are in business here if they can get their passes right. Here's Leandro Trossard. City quickly back into their shape. Here's Zubimendi. Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side. It's Bukayo Saka. Saka shot. Oh, there was a chance there with the bicycle attempt by Zubimendi. Doesn't get any contact on it though. Zubimendi is attacking the box a lot more in the second half. Declan Rice dropping a lot deeper. Here's Calafiori. Timber again on the right-hand side. Saka. Timber. Declan Rice. Zubimendi. Arsenal very patient with the ball here. City in their 4-4-2 shape here off the ball. Good turn again from Ebre Eze. That body feint is very difficult to defend against, but it looks like Saka and Eze playing on the same side here. It's O'Reilly's defending, which is excellent, but his scuff clearance goes straight back to Declan Rice, but the offside flag stops the attack here. Much better this from Arsenal in the second half. Eze and Bukayo Saka are playing on that right-hand side, and suddenly that side has become a lot more dynamic for Arsenal. Still question marks on that left-hand side. Again, Trossard, is he the best opportunity? Maybe Martinelli will be a lot more useful in this game. Here's Bernardo Silva. Beautiful pass outside of the boot to Mateus Nunes. Fresh legs on the pitch here. Nunes does well. Heavy touch. Trossard helps out defensively. Eze's first touch is magnificent. Rodri's foul. Surely that should be a yellow card for Rodri. Oh, surely a yellow card. Rodri does get away with those, doesn't he? Those clever fouls. Can a ball into the channel. Donnarumma sweeps but doesn't have to claim the ball. Well, Victor Gyökeres hasn't really had much of service in this match so far. Arsenal trying their best to get their number 9 as much of the ball, but he seems to be caught up with Ruben Diaz more than anything else. It's had very little joy, but they need to be a bit more accurate with their passing to their number 9. That's a poor pass by Donnarumma. Timber, Saka. Saka again, immediately double teamed, but space opens up on the right hand side. Jurrien Timber looks to deliver, but well blocked. Well, City have had nothing of the ball and nothing of the play in the second half. Full credit to Arsenal, the way that they have completely nullified City in terms of doing anything with the ball. Here's Declan Rice. I think surely there will be a stat at the end of the match where this will be City's lowest ever possession recorded in a match. 11v11, everything equal. Nice pass there by Gabriel Magalhaes. Here he is again, Declan Rice. Gabriel again. And Arsenal a bit static, but now they turn it on with Calafiori on the left-hand side. Here's Trossard. Chops in on his right foot, goes on his left. Excellent defending again. Both fullbacks really fulfilling their duties here. Leandro Trossard trying to take on Mateus Nunes. No joy whatsoever. Well, with Kusanov going off for Nunes, I think City will be more of a flat back four. Nico O'Reilly will be coming in as left back. The two centre halves in Diaz and Guardiola, with Mateus Nunes as the right back. See, Phil Foden is playing as the right winger now. Bernardo Silva almost as the number 10. Rodri and Reinders holding the midfield, with Doku on the left and Haaland as the number 9 rather. Another ball into the box. Oh, that was very dangerous. Arsenal keep it alive. Trossard's shot doesn't have any venom, and now Doku trying to burst away, and he does brilliantly there. Jeremy Doku on a one-man mission here. Now the cavalry arrives. He's found Haaland, and he's got a runner on the right-hand side. If he picks his head up, Erling Haaland is straight at Raya, and that nearly turns into an own goal. Massive opportunity there for Manchester City, who have done absolutely nothing in the second half in terms of attack, but they're so lethal on the counter-attack. It's Doku and Haaland again. This is where Haaland has to pick his head up. I think that is Phil Foden in acres of space on the right-hand side. Instead, Haaland tries to go near post, straight at Raya, and Eze's clearance nearly takes a wicked ricochet of Declan Rice. It's a corner for Manchester City, and just like that, City show you what they're all about. Arsenal, for all the play that they've had in the second half, nearly concede from yet another counter-attack. Well, Ruben Diaz, Josko Guardiola and Erling Haaland, the three biggest threats against Arsenal, in cahoots here as Phil Foden delivers into the box. Good ball in. Header. Bernardo Silva on his left foot. Jeremy Doku is onside. He's been swarmed there. Ball into the box. Oh, Calafiori with the outstretched leg concedes another corner. The pressure being cranked up here, but the offside flag has been raised there. Doku coming from an offside position before he delivered that low cross into the box. Arsenal looking for a quick move on here. Oh, he's given the ball away. Zubimendi. Bernardo Silva working tirelessly. City trying to hold the ball in the Arsenal half for the first time really in the second half. Here's Nunes. Diaz to Guardiola. Guardiola again. Diaz with a good pass there to Bernardo Silva. Looks like Silva has once again peeled onto the right hand side. It seems that his position and Phil Foden's is interchangeable because of that versatility that both of them have. Here's Raya inviting the press forward. They beat it nicely, but still a long way to go towards goal as Declan Rice, beautiful line breaker from him to Eze. To the right hand side is Saka. Now looking to run at O'Reilly. He's got Timber on the overlap. Josko Guardiola comes across, and what a tackle that is on the slide. Brilliant from the Croatian. He knew that his left back needed some help. Immediately goes narrow, makes sure that O'Reilly has support. He's done exactly that. Excellent defending from Josko Guardiola. Well, Arsenal still searching for that opening goal that has eluded them. They've been very good at home, having no problems dealing with the opposition. This is a game where they had to be on their best from minute one. They were a bit passive. Look at Arsenal just prowling on this set piece. Another dangerous ball in. And Trossard's shot comes across. Another big block there from Guardiola. Martinelli, oh, there's a chance there. It was Trossard's ball rather. Nobody getting any sort of contact there for Arsenal. Haaland clears. Raya pumps the ball back in with interest here. Good touch there from Trossard, but it's a dangerous one as City could counter. Nunez plays the ball into the channel. Nobody really there. Haaland was not really interested in making a selfless run there. Well, 60 minutes on the clock here. This is crunch time for Arsenal. 30 minutes plus stoppage time remain for them. Otherwise, they are 6 points behind the league leaders in match week 5 already. Here's Timber. And on that right hand side, Arsenal maintain their danger with Timber, Eze, and beautiful pass there from Eze. Declan Rice trying to get his head on it. Excellent defending this time from Matheus Nunes. Continuing the good work of Abdulkadir Kusanov. Eze's weight of pass was perfect there. It was lifted into the box for Declan Rice, who made that run towards the far stick. And now has to take this corner here. Arsenal, their 6th or 7th corner. I'm losing count. Arsenal have had a lot of them. Getting closer and closer with every corner though. Rice delivers. Again, it's Haaland. Eze takes a touch. He's been dropped off the ball though. Again, the number of times, just the sheer number of times that Erling Haaland has got his head to it. It's been so impressive. And David Raya looks to spread the ball instead. It's gone out of play. It's a throw in for Manchester City and takes the pressure off them. And there was a good shot there in the corner prior to this one. Trossard's ball, which he put into the box, took a wicked deflection of Ruben Diaz. Gyökeres was completely wrong-footed. Then was cleared away by Erling Haaland. And Gyökeres and Haaland have not had too much to do in this second half. Haaland battling with Gabriel. Calafiori wins the header of Erling Haaland. Trossard forced to go all the way back to the goalkeeper. Again, time is running out quickly here for Arsenal. 62 minutes already for them. Have to find a way to be proactive here. They've thrown on their 2 biggest weapons at half time. Mikel Merino, Noni Madueke coming off for Ebre Eze and Bukayo Saka. Good ball by Trossard. Doesn't find Calafiori though. Ruben Diaz has been a rock at the back. He has kept a close eye on Victor Gyökeres. Good header by Nunes. Is Rodri. It's a very poor pass, but the leap from Doku is good. Tijani Reinders a bit too. I think Reinders just pulls out of the challenge there. Has to be better. Concedes the foul too. Here's Saka. It's away from O'Reilly, but the foul has been given. O'Reilly using excessive force in the eyes of the referee. Bukayo Saka hauled down to the ground. First taste of action after 3 weeks. He did miss that crucial game against Liverpool, didn't he? Both him and Saliba. Well, Saliba started the game but lasted, 3 minutes on the pitch before Christian Mosquera came on. It's the first time since I think match week 2 that we are seeing Saka and William Saliba on the pitch together. This is pretty much Arsenal's strongest 11 on the pitch here. Can you look at second half possession? All in favour of Arsenal. Declan Rice with the free kick into the box. Oh, there's a chance there for Gyökeres. And it's Josko Guardiola on the floor, manage to get the clearance away. Here's Trossard. On the right hand side is Declan Rice, Saliba, Zubimendi. Again, Arsenal exercising a lot of control here. City playing like the away team. Here's Rice. Calafiori. To Zubimendi. Again, Arsenal very patient, not looking to do anything in haste here. Zubimendi, Eze. In that number 10 position now, Eze to Calafiori. Back to Eze. Trossard, this is intricate, but they need a bit more. Ball into the box, well headed away by Josko Guardiola, who's putting in an immaculate shift at left-sided centre-back. Forced to go all the way back is Rice and is Saliba. Perfect from City in terms of keeping their defensive shape. Off the ball, they've been made to work, and Eze has lost the ball here. Bernardo Silva has got it. Takes a 360 turn to keep the possession, and he does. Foden to Guardiola. Excellent pass to Doku, who plays it around the corner to Tijani Reinders very well. Clever from Doku. Reinders. Well, it's cleared away by Gabriel Magalhaes. Saka with a good touch, but Reinders comes across. Might be a foul there. It isn't. It was Jurriën Timber too. He had to get it spot on, and he did. It's Saka though who's carrying the ball. Timber on the right hand side. If he needs the option, instead he looks for a clever pass. Well intercepted again. City's box defending has been elite in this match. Here's Trossard. Oh, that's asking a lot from Gyökeres, who's brought that under control very well though. Calafiori. Here's Gabriel Magalhaes. Under 25 minutes of normal time remain for Arsenal. The shots are started to dry up here. We saw those 2 shots from Zubimendi and was it Eze? 2 players that got shots early in the second half. Since then, it's just gone a bit too quiet for Arsenal's liking. Rice. Well, Arsenal have blanked once in the Premier League already against Liverpool at Anfield. Will they blank again? This time at home to Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. Rice to Trossard. Again, Trossard with not much carry. I think this is a time where Mikel Arteta needs that extra bit of bravery. Take off Trossard for maybe Martinelli. Good work there by Bernardo Silva. And it's City who make the change here. It's going to be Nathan Ake coming on that left-hand side. And he's going to be replacing Phil Foden. It's going to be a yellow card for someone here in Arsenal colours. Well, City colours maybe. Pep Guardiola in intense discussion with his skipper. Looks like it's Pep Guardiola has got the yellow card and not a Manchester City player. Pep Guardiola visibly furious. Again, this is a different Pep, isn't it? He's taken off Phil Foden and he's brought on Nathan Ake for extra security. Maybe see him at left wing back. See where Nathan Ake. Yep, Nathan Ake is playing very much as a centre back. Maybe Josko Guardiola goes as left back and Nico O'Reilly, who either might be a wing back or maybe pushed into midfield. We'll wait and see. But as it stands, City are defending with a back five here. Nunez, Diaz, Ake, Guardiola and Nico O'Reilly. Well, hell is literally frozen over. Pep Guardiola defending with a back five. Beautiful skill there from Trossard. Then creates a bit of separation. Declan Rice's control is not good whatsoever. Haaland is quick to it. And now Doku can burst if he can. It's by himself. Doku does so well. And he wins the foul. It's just brilliant play. And that all comes from Declan Rice's miscontrol. Doku, one-man wrecking crew there. Just the ability to run with the ball. See Arsenal players just retreating with a lot of panic. And it was Rice who conceded the ball. Was now made the... Oh, that was a foul by Timber. You know, Timber is very lucky. This was a couple moves before, and this is why Pep Guardiola is absolutely fuming and why he picked up the yellow card. Because he believes that Jurrien Timber was very much eligible for a second yellow card with that foul there on Jeremy Doku. It wasn't given as a foul. Doku was convinced. Pep Guardiola was incensed by that decision. Time running out again for Arsenal. Into the 70th minute already, and since then, I haven't seen too much of Arsenal. Bukayo Saka needs a lot more of the ball, especially in the channel in the box, to make sure he can use his left foot. Haaland has done a great job of rushing and harrowing the centre-backs, forcing them to go long. Zubimendi's touch is heavy. Rodri intercepts. Zubimendi has not had the assured game in midfield as you generally associate with him. Here's Reinders. It's a bit of a risky pass there by Josko Guardiola, but he's so assured on the ball, isn't he? Here's Reinders again on that left-hand side. Doku playing in the inside channel now. Might have another problem for the Arsenal defenders to try and solve here. Rodri is very clever. He had nowhere to go. All he does is just maneuver the ball so that Saka can't reach there because off the floor, he knew that at least the foul or the throw-in would go his way. Guardiola to Nathan Ake, the insurance plan for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. He came on for Phil Foden. Now we'll see them in a back three and Nunez maybe inverting into midfield. Oh, Haaland trying to ragdoll Saliba there. Maybe by holding his jersey. Haaland was getting a bit tired, wasn't he, in terms of getting his jersey dragged. Here's Timber. A bit lucky to stay on the pitch. Got to say that. Here's Zubimendi. Calafiori. Now it's Eze. Again, City with everyone behind the ball here. Even Haaland helping out. Eze drops the shoulder here. Looking for the quick combination. Jurrien Timber's ball. Not going where it was intended to. Now it's a beautiful switch out there by Eze. But Matheus Nunes, since he has come on, has been just brilliant. Oh, that's a heavy foul. That's Calafiori, who might just pick up a yellow card. He was in the air with the foul there on Bernardo Silva. Oh, it's a bit reckless there from Ricardo Calafiori, who had to go for it. Matheus Nunes winning that very well. Oh, it's a bad one, really. I don't know how much of Bernardo Silva he's really caught there, but Bernardo Silva is soldiering on. He's asking for the substitution, whether or not he wants to be subbed. Kolo Toure also there in the coaching staff for Pep Guardiola. He's got also Pep Linders, who was of course the assistant manager of Liverpool when Klopp was there. Here's Zubimendi, who's lost out another duel there to Rodri. Rodri is absolutely eating him alive in that midfield, isn't he? Saliba with a risky pass, and Doku has pinched it here. Doku again. Oh my word, it's Timber. He has to be so careful. It's been waved away by the referee. It all comes from sloppy play at the back there from Saliba. It's the second time that he's just been a bit too casual with the ball. It's a good ball into the channel here for Gyökeres, and the recovery pace of Nathan Ake on show there. That is why he was brought onto the pitch. The insurance policy, keeping pace with Victor Gyökeres, does very well there. But it's another corner for Arsenal. It's their 9th corner in this match. City have had only one. City have had barely any of the ball. They've not even entered the goal, have they? The box rather. They haven't had to. The defense has been good. They've made sure that they're being hard to break down, but set pieces, always a valuable port of entry for Arsenal. Declan Rice delivers, and once again it's Donnarumma. Just brilliant the way that he commands his box. Here's Saka though. Zubimendi. Cross comes into the box. It's Haaland again. Brilliant. Well, my friend Kashish says that it's Arsenal to win the Champions League. Well, they might have to play the Champions League with a lot more enthusiasm, with the league title potentially slipping away already. Doku battling well. He's come away with the ball. He's done so well there, Doku. Thanks, Kashish. Well, into the 75th minute. O'Reilly has defended that well. Arsenal yet to throw on all their weapons. Martinelli is still on the bench. Could be a valuable option on that left-hand side. I'm surprised Trossard has lasted 75 minutes like he has. Here he is though on the ball. Trying to go around the outside. No, instead cuts in on his right foot. Looks to float it. Instead keeps the ball well. Here's Zubimendi. Shifts it onto the right-hand side for Yuri and Timber. Here's Saka. On the outside. Right-footed ball into the box. It's a good attacking header. It's Calafiori again. But his header is well over the crossbar. It's a goal kick for Manchester City. 15 minutes plus stoppage time remain. It's a decent find there by Saka. I think he was looking for Victor Gyökeres. We'll talk about shutting shop. Manchester City are doing exactly that. They're taking off the difference maker, the goal scorer, the man with 6 goals in 5 games. Erling Haaland, job done for him. He has been brilliant. The defensive contributions will not be forgotten here, as Haaland, as it stands, is the match winner. Friendly embrace with Pep Guardiola as he brings on yet another insurance policy. Another midfielder here with Nico Gonzalez. Going to just slot into that midfield area here. Well, Haaland now has done his job. He can put his foot up and enjoy the rest of the match here. But I think it's a yellow card for Donnarumma for time wasting. I think it is. The ball in, well headed there by Rodri. He's looked his former self, hasn't he? Off the ball, he's been excellent. Puts the pressure on Calafiori. No way out for the Italian fullback. And could Arsenal bring on Martinelli and Nwaneri, for example? Another double substitution to just pretty much throw the kitchen sink here at Manchester City. They've made their intentions very clear. They don't want to score another goal here. The only attacking players that they have on the pitch is it's only Jeremy Doku and Bernardo Silva, really. City looking to shut shop. This is a completely different Manchester City. on the right hand side. It's a risky strategy though. Very rarely see City being pinned in their own half for such long periods of time. Here's Zubimendi. Calafiori. Again drifting into the central area. City shifting from side to side beautifully here in that 5-4-1 formation off the ball. Here's Saka though, up against Reinders. Saka drops the shoulder nicely. It's Bukayo Saka with a bit of tempo here. Lays the ball off. It's a little too much though for Calafiori. Keeps the ball alive. Here's Trossard. Saka. Again waiting for options. Slowing the pace down. Goes around the outside. He's been swarmed by City players and Saka commits the foul. He overruns the ball. A little too heavy there. Bernardo Silva using his experience and his defensive nous to get into position. Pep Guardiola sweating on the opposition bench here. Well, surely Arsenal have to make a double substitution again. They have to bring on Martinelli and Nwaneri. Even empty the bench, bring on Miles Lewis-Skelly. 5 substitutions you're allowed. He's only made 2. Either one of Declan Rice and Zubimendi should be enough here. Instead, he's persisting with the similar shape here. Martinelli is getting ready to come on. Don't know if Nwaneri is going to follow him, but we wait and see. Here's Eze. Timber. Saka. Again, patience exercised here by Arsenal. Saka again trying to be tricky, but he's not fooling anyone with those tricks. Here's Gabriel Magalhaes. Decent ball in and good defensive work by Matheus Nunes. And he's convinced that the offside flag should have been raised for the run made by Leandro Trossard. Let's see whether or not they have a point here. Yes, they do. Trossard was offside. But the corner will be conceded here. I think this is the 10th corner for Arsenal. The substitution is being made and clear intentions here from Arteta, taking off Jurriën Timber for Gabriel Martinelli, who opened the scoring against the Basque club midweek. When they did play against Athletic Club, they were struggling to find a goal. Gabriel Martinelli, with pretty much his very first touch in the match, was through on goal after some brilliant skill by himself. 10 minutes left on the clock here. Another Arsenal corner. It's cleared away. Well, Donnarumma needed a bit of help on that occasion. Declan Rice loses out on that duel. And Rodri mops up. Well, under 10 minutes plus stoppage time remain for Arsenal. As it stands, both Arsenal and Manchester City will be 6 points behind Liverpool after match week 5. Liverpool fans, players, managing staff, everyone will just have their feet up and absolutely enjoy this. It's exactly what they wanted in terms of a title defense. Rice on the left hand side to Calafiori. Cuts inside on his right foot. Calafiori with a wild swipe on his weaker right foot. It was closer to the corner flag than it was to goal. Arteta drops his head down as he once again looks to gee up his team, get them going. Well, City slowing the pace down here. They're playing in a 5-4-1 formation here off the ball. Jeremy Doku, the only recognized attacker on the pitch. Trying to win a header against Gabriel Magalhaes. Does well though to be a nuisance. Again looking to turn is Nico Gonzalez. That's a very good turn and a pass on the left hand side. City now once again will slow the pace down here. Doku looking for the quick 1-2 and he gets it back here. And it's Jeremy Doku on the outside. Doku! Oh, nearly so special. Jeremy Doku with a bit of assistance nearly scores a spectacular goal. Talk about taking responsibilities. That was Jeremy Doku. Oh, that's a huge mistake there. Ruben Diaz and Donnarumma nearly make a mess out of that. No pressure whatsoever. It's all coming to life in the last 8 minutes plus stoppage time that remains. Saka battling. The tackles are flying in. Riley's on the deck. So is Nico Gonzalez. City doing the wise thing here in terms of just slowing the pace down, taking minutes off the clock. O'Reilly will need a bit of assistance by the looks of it. Zubimendi looking for a quick resolution. That is not a foul because it was Nico Gonzalez's challenge. It was O'Reilly who pushed Nico Gonzalez. It's a bit comical from City, but it worked in their favor because they're running down the clock here perfectly from their point of view. Well, after Jeremy Doku skipped past the Arsenal defense and nearly scored at the other end, Ruben Diaz and Donnarumma nearly having a brain fade moment there. Complete miscommunication, nearly resulting in a comical goal. And Arsenal deciding to empty the clip here. Bring on Ethan Nwaneri. Needs must for Arteta. He has to throw on everything that he's got. Throw the kitchen sink at the City defense. They're playing a 5 at the back with 4 midfielders. No intention to score a goal because all they have in terms of an attacking threat is Jeremy Doku. But we saw in the previous attack that Doku often by himself is more than enough. Again, is this a bit conservative from Arteta? He takes off Trossard for Nwaneri. Nwaneri had to come on. But can you sacrifice a midfielder here? That would have been the question. It's again a like-for-like substitution. Well, City are readying 2 more substitutions. It's Savinho and John Stones coming on. Smart from Pep Guardiola. I think he just wanted to navigate that 10-minute spell with a 5-4-1, knowing that Arsenal will try to give everything that they have. But now a bit more insurance coming in with another defender in John Stones. Kashish says that Arsenal to surely score before full time. Well, they have the possession, but they need the shots on goal here. Here's Calafiori. Declan Rice driving with the ball onto the right-hand side. Here's Saka. City defending deep, ball into the box. Rodri with another crucial interception. Arsenal being cheered by their fans. Try and get up for the last 5 minutes here. They'll have to throw everything that they have. O'Reilly still back on the pitch. Will we see that substitution being made with John Stones and Savinho coming on? We'll wait and see. But 5 minutes remain of normal time here. A throw in for Arsenal. Into the box. Cleared away again. It's Guardiola, isn't it? It's Calafiori's header. Nearly breaks through for him. Guardiola is brilliant. Reads that so well. And he finds a brilliant pass to Doku. And Doku will have to run by himself. And he does. And he baits the challenge there. Is that a foul? If that's a foul, that's a yellow card too. That is so clever from Jeremy Doku. It's on Zubimendi. Again, the way he just starts and stops and just bursts is so special. Jeremy Doku not just wins the foul, but just runs the clock down again. This is a professional Jose Mourinho-esque performance by Pep Guardiola. Scoring the goal, bringing on a 5th defender, now bringing on another defender, a centre-back coming on. It's John Stones coming on. I think it's O'Reilly who will be coming off, which means Nathan Ake will shift as the left-sided wing-back. And John Stones will be in the centre with Josko Guardiola and Ruben Diaz on either side. O'Reilly with another top game. This dude is just impressing. Every game he plays, he's excellent, man. He solves so many problems for Manchester City, and Arsenal will be so happy to see the back of him as Jeremy Doku comes off. If not for Erling Haaland, you're looking at the man of the match as Jeremy Doku. Excellent game for him again. He's starting to regain his form. Again, City with an aimless ball into the air. Arsenal win possession and now trying to drive forward. Martinelli trying the nutmeg on Mateus Nunes, not working. Here's Bernardo Silva to Savinho, who's fresh. He's got the legs to try and run at his Brazilian compatriot in Gabriel Magalhães, but he wins the throw-in instead. Under 3 minutes of normal time remain for Arsenal. Good play again. Very calmly done by Manchester City. Might be a foul there. It is. Savinho just lunges in. It's a free kick quickly taken and the ball is in the Arsenal half. They need to have it at the other end as quickly as possible. Here's Rice. Saliba. Rice again. 2 minutes of stoppage time remain. Arsenal, just no movement off the ball. Everybody a bit too static. You can see Declan Rice waiting for options. Ebreze is picking up the ball far too deep here. Again, the central areas are so congested. There's absolutely no room. The width has to be used from Arsenal's point of view. Have to get the ball into the box for Gyökeres. They haven't done that once, have they? Get the crosses in anywhere near the header, Victor Gyökeres. Here's Rice. Calafiori, can he deliver? Decent ball in, but the deflection of Bernardo Silva, who has worked his socks off. Unbelievable work from the skipper off the ball in this performance here. Here's Declan Rice. And it's a bit of a heavy touch and really poor there from Declan Rice. He not just concedes the throw in, but once again the clock runs down in favour of Manchester City. A minute of normal time remain. Pep Guardiola. He's such a funny man, when he really does emote. That will be a meme for years to come. Good strength there from Eze. We haven't seen too much of that in the match, have we? He has been on the periphery of things after that early shot in the second half. It's another clip ball in. Saka, heavy touch. He's on the right hand side. The last touch might have come off Saka. It has. And it's a corner for Manchester City. It's academic as the offside flag was raised. Again, time the enemy for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. Arteta urging the referee to make sure that all this time will be added on for stoppages. We'll wait and see. Well, only 3 minutes was added on at Anfield as Everton were chasing the game. That was a shocking call from the fourth official. And this is more like it. 7 minutes of stoppage time being added on here. A long way to go for Manchester City to hold on here. Mikel Arteta playing ball boy here. Trying to get this team up the pitch. Again, they slow the pace down. This is where they have to be a lot quicker. They're taking their time. Here's Rice. Nwaneri with his first touch into the box. Decent ball in. Outstanding header there from Matheus Nunes. He has not put a foot wrong since coming on in the second half. Brilliant performance from Matheus Nunes at right back. His defensive diligence has been a real tick mark. Another corner is it for Arsenal? It's the 11th corner if I've been keeping count accurately. I think it might be more. Arsenal drawing blanks at home. Cannot go on here. 6 massive minutes in their season already coming up here. It's a corner. Declan Rice delivers. Cleared away at the front post. Poor corner from Rice. No real elevation. Here's Saka. Forced to go back. Here's Nwaneri. On his left foot. Can he be the difference maker? Rice. Nwaneri. Clip ball in. Headed away by Josko Guardiola. Talk about flawless performances. Guardiola's put one of those in. Absolutely brilliant at left-sided centre-back. Look at the way City play out the press. Beautifully done. Combined so well there. And if City play this right, they can really torment Arsenal. Here's Reinders trying to go by himself. He's got a bit of support. Nico Gonzalez on the stretch. Might be a foul there. It isn't. Referee has waved play on. Kashish is urging his team to score. Oh, that's a decent ball in. It's Martinelli. He looks to chip that in. And he does! Gabriel Martinelli with 92 minutes minutes on the clock has given Arsenal a valuable point right at the end. Oh, Arsenal keep going till the very end, but Manchester City fall asleep and the clip ball in was measured to perfection. Donnarumma caught in no man's land, and Gabriel Martinelli, who scored midweek against Athletic Club, now scores a crucial goal against Manchester City. Well, Donnarumma concedes for the first time in Manchester City colours. What a pass this was. We'll have to see whether or not he was onside. Oh, yes, he is. He's onside by a mile. What a ball this is from Eze. Oh, it's special from Eze. The two substitutes combined. Magnificent first touch there by Gabriel Martinelli. Donnarumma commits. He's nowhere near that. And that's an expert finish by the Brazilian. Well, Arsenal will feel that they've done just enough to deserve at least a goal in the second half. And they have been rewarded. Kashish says, what a goal. I agree. What a goal indeed. That Eze pass was special. Really was special. Like a quarterback just pings it behind the back line. Perfect weight on it. Martinelli does the rest. Well, Pep Guardiola's tactic of trying to hold on has backfired, as Gabriel Martinelli has got the Emirates crowd rocking. Well, 3 minutes of stoppage time still remain here. Is there a more dramatic ending to this match? Arsenal will be looking for one more opportunity. Brilliant feed by Josko Guardiola. Keeps his balance, but loses out on the ball there. City might have to concede the foul here because Arsenal are really, with the wind in their sails, looking to go and attack. Good ball. Oh, what a first touch that is by Eze, but he's been ushered off the ball. Time running out for Arsenal. Here's Nathan Ake driving with the ball on that left-hand side. Here's Savinho. Rodri. Good pass there to Mateus Nunes. Here's Bernardo Silva. Keeping the ball here. Frustrating Arsenal. Bernardo Silva again looking to turn away from trouble. He's done very well to keep possession there. Might be a foul by Ricardo Calafiori. I think he's already on a yellow card. Has to be very careful. Doesn't want to be suspended for the next game here. Well, Gabriel Martinelli. What a week he's had. Scoring against Athletic and then against Manchester City. Look at that first touch from Gabriel Martinelli. Look at Mikel Arteta's celebration. He has celebrated that goal, knowing that that could be a huge turning point. They still might be dropping 2 points, but it could have been a whole lot worse for them. Well, City, by the looks of it, won't have victories against Manchester United and Arsenal back-to-back. Reinders with the ball into the box. Ake heads it back into the danger area. Calafiori's header. Saka's got the touch. He's lost the duel though. Arsenal looking for the counter-attack, and Gyökeres has got the ball. And on the left-hand side, it's a bit too heavy there for Martinelli. Mateus Nunes just eases him out the way. Excellent defending, and now City can break here. It's Savinho looking to run. Declan Rice with a good challenge. Recovers the ball again. 1 minute of stoppage time remain. A bit more will be added on because of the goal and the celebrations after that. Here's Zubimendi. What an exciting end to the game this has been. Eze, in the similar position, he opened City up. This time tries his best with a grounded pass. Good defending again from Mateus Nunes. It's been fouled by Saka. City take a quickly taken free kick. Now a bit of urgency. Might be a little too late for Manchester City and will have to settle for a point. Here's Nico Gonzalez. Josko Guardiola. We're heading into borrowed time now. Oh, that might be a foul. Surely it is. The clock will run out favorably for Manchester City. 97 minutes have been played. Zubimendi is coming off for Christian Mosquera. Curious substitution with 97 minutes already played. Mosquera getting another appearance under his belt. Zubimendi just now realizing that his number's been up. We're way past stoppage time now. 97.5 minutes on the board here. Mosquera with a bit of extra defensive solidity added in case Manchester City managed to score from the set piece here. It's a good decision by Arteta to bring on another big centre half here as Manchester City possibly have the last attack of the match. It's a free kick. Will be flung into the box. Good header there by Saliba. Nunes. Bernardo Silva goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. 98 minutes on the clock here as Donnarumma launches that forward. Decent header there by John Stones. Goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. Those City have to hurry back into position. David Raya urging his team forward. Launches that in. It's Gyökeres looking to win that one. It's an awkward one for Ruben Diaz, who does so well as Nathan Ake can clear. And it turns into a very good pass. Savinho brilliant. Calafiori. Again, that is a clever foul from his perspective because he doesn't get booked. It's a foul committed in the opposition half. Well, 90 seconds of borrowed time have already been played here. Josko Guardiola will take this free kick. Another opportunity for City to launch this into the Arsenal box. Instead, they're trying to take this towards the corner flag by the looks of it. Here's Savinho. Again, he loses out on the duel. Arsenal looking to get the ball up the pitch quickly again. It's another long ball. Does Josko Guardiola win it? No, he doesn't. But he recovers brilliantly. Oh, what a performance it has been from Josko Guardiola as the referee blows the full-time whistle. Drop points for Arsenal and Manchester City after Erling Haaland scored in the 9th minute to give Manchester City the early lead. Pep Guardiola with an ultra-defensive formation to try and close out the game, but it was a man from the bench. That was Gabriel Martinelli with an exquisite first touch and finish over Gigi Donnarumma. As the points are shared at the Emirates Stadium, it is Liverpool who will be rejoicing after match week 5. They sit pretty on top of the table. Full time here at the Emirates Stadium. It's Arsenal 1, Manchester City 1.